What's up, guys? We just got back from Fort Lauderdale and we just toured a 2007 Lagoon 440.
Now, I know we don't normally tour any of the big three catamaran brands, but as our channel has grown and interest in catamarans has grown, a lot of viewers have reached out and asked us to do more of these types of tours.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, these are kind of the most prevalent catamarans out there. So inevitably, most people that are shopping for used catamarans, even new, are going to end up with these brands.
We figured we were already in the area and it can't hurt to get one of these tours done for you guys.
Before we get to the tour, I just wanted to quickly remind you guys again, if you enjoy our boat tours, to please hit that subscribe button down below. And now let's get to the tour.
Coming aboard, we have the Sugar Scoop with a few steps up to the main deck, and then a couple more steps up to go forward as well. So we'll start off by heading forward on the boat. There are several hatches along the side. Some are smaller and some are larger, but definitely good ventilation, which is always a bonus.
The side decks are nice and wide, it seems like.
Yes, they are. The windows for the salon are very straight up and down.
Yeah.
I feel like normally we see them at an angle. Probably block some of the sun getting in, which is nice.
Good handholds on the coach roof right here. And there's your coach roof.
This area is neat. It's kind of like a little mini cockpit over here. The seating that goes down into the deck. I wonder what that does for bridge deck clearance.
This would be a nice place to sit, though.
It would. I almost want to, like, how could you fill that with water and make it a jacuzzi? That's where my mind went. I don't know why. There's like two nice size trampolines. We've got a furling head sail. We have anchor that is being led back. It looks like this must be the anchor locker in this little cockpit area. Actually, your windlass is in here too.
A good size anchor locker right there.
All right, we've got forward facing hatches that open for the salon, which is awesome for ventilation because you can keep the door to the salon open in the back, and forward have these open and air can flow right through. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's got those classic Lagoon salon windows. I like that there are two opening hatches in the front.
It looks like this side deck is mirrored as far as hatches go. There's also opening hatches up at the top of the saloon. There's two of the smaller hatches.
Just want to give you guys a quick pan of the foredeck here. Pretty ample foredeck, ample side decks. Lots of space on the front of this boat. Down here it looks like we have a bow locker. So going down to the bow locker on the starboard side, we have a ladder and then a good amount of storage down there. Very nice. I like being able to access the bow lockers from the deck. The starboard side bow locker is locked, but it does look like it's another locker, so lots of storage in both bows, so +1 for that. In the forward cockpit, obviously you have some lazarettes with storage. So you can open up the large seat and you've got a massive tank right there, tankage. And then you've got storage down below, so lots of storage. And then on the port side we've got another locker, so 3 lockers, 2 good size and 1 very large in this forward cockpit area. We've got your main with the stack pack and lazy jacks. Looking up the rig, we have a standard sloop rigged catamaran. No self-tacking jib, no inner forestay, just kind of your standard rig. Looking back. So what are you doing up here, Randy?
So there's a fly bridge up here, and I also noticed there are some jack line hook-ins for safety, which is good. But this gives quite the vantage point up here. So are you gonna head on up?
Yeah, I'll join you. So you enter this fly bridge helm station through here.
On
then-
either the port or starboard side.
Yeah, so you can enter from both sides. And then you've got a little mini bimini. This is your visibility. So you got great visibility, 360-degree views.
Yeah. You can pretty much see all four corners of the cat, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely. So the view up here is awesome. And yeah, I mean, there's your home. It's big enough for multiple people up here as well. Looks like all your running rigging comes to self-tailing winches up here. You've got your instruments, more winches on the port side over there. So it should be pretty easy to sail this boat from this position, and you can see, you know, everything that's going on, which is awesome. Lots of room for solar back there. You've got your traveler, and yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good helm station. I think it's pretty safe, even though it is at the top of the boat. However, it is kind of unprotected from the weather. I mean, you do have this little bimini, but aside from that, I mean, you've got no protection around you.
I'm sure you could put something more permanent. It looks like at one point there might have been something a little different because I see some snaps.
Yeah.
There might have been more to this enclosure at one point.
Yeah, there's like snaps and then there's runners. So yeah, I would definitely have some sort of isinglass or vinyl to protect you from, you know, rain and wind and cold weather.
Yes.
But on a beautiful sunny day in the Caribbean, this is a
would be
great
nice.
spot. So we are exiting the helm station, and I'm back here on the starboard side. We've got the starboard side sugar scoop and then the engine compartment right there. And I'm gonna stand on this real quick and look forward. There's the helm station where we just were, and then right below that is your cockpit. Very protected. Very nice. Let's go take a look. So you kind of have to enter the cockpit from the port side here. I mean, you can go down here, but the actual steps down are on the port side, so that's what we're doing. Step down, and then how do you feel right here?
A large area for like entertaining people, I feel like, back here.
Definitely.
Have a lot of friends come over and eat together.
All kind of built into the catamaran, which is nice, and then you got your storage underneath. So I was not expecting that. I just opened up that seat and there is a massive generator right there. And then your propane locker is in this other one. So you've got storage, propane, generator.
And more storage with the generator.
And a little more storage in there. Then you've got kind of a outdoor wet bar over on this side. Let's go take a look. So you've got a sink with water down below. Got a fridge and storage. Do have a nice West Marine rib on the back there with dinghy davits. And then your engines are going to be on your sugar scoops right here, so let's take a look at those. So the engine access is kind of far aft on this boat, which isn't necessarily ideal, but there is one Yanmar diesel. Pretty good engine access. Could use a cleaning down there, but this is a used boat. Heading over to the other sugar scoop, you can actually take this aft walkway right here, which is kind of nice. You've got your grill, and then you've got your diesel engine down below. There's your starboard side diesel engine. So we just opened up this compartment and we were a little bit baffled for a second, but I think it's going to be storage for the tabletop if you wanted to get it out of the way, because it looks like there's almost like a mini tabletop there that you can replace it with that would take up less room. So I think that's what it's for. Could be wrong. Someone in the comments down below, let me know if I'm right or wrong. I think you'll do it anyway, but
It's a good use of space if that's what it's for. I mean, nothing else really could go up there.
yeah, and then we just close it so it's flush with the roof right there. Ready to take us inside, Randy?
Yes. So you walk into the saloon and galley. We've got a large settee and seating area with a good sized table.
Forward-facing nav station right there, which I am always a fan of.
And then your galley, it looks like it has a metal countertop, which is different than what I've seen in the past, but I like it.
Yeah, kind of industrial.
Yeah. Tons of storage. I like these opening windows back here because I don't know if we've hit on ventilation enough, but like I said, there's opening windows forward. You could open those, open the door, open these.
Galley aft, you know, forward-facing nav station, and lots of room.
What I really like about it is that you're part of whatever's happening outside too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the galleys feel a little bit closed off, but this feels very part of like whatever's happening in here or out there. So that's a nice setup for sure.
And then I do like all these curtains. They're, you know, because of the shape of the windows there in the saloon, it's kind of easy for there to be like regular straight up and down curtains, which is kind of nice. Good for privacy, good for keeping the salon cool.
Little storage under here.
This looks like a very large and comfortable settee area. And then I guarantee you there's going to be storage under there, which there is. In the
That's going to be a freezer.
nav station there, you got a fridge, it looks like, fridge or freezer.
And then
You got throttle controls, which is nice, so you can control your throttle from here. Autopilot, I believe, controls right there.
most of what's in the galley that you see is just storage space, different types of organization, but then obviously you have a fridge as well.
Yes, good use of space. Obviously, this is a used boat right now. There's someone that is currently using it, which is kind of gives you an idea of how it would look if
real
you were
life.
aboard. Yeah, if real life was happening aboard. So rather than like at a boat show or something, which is kind of nice. And then forward-facing nav station has a perfect view straight out that way too. If I open those shades, I mean, really.
Almost 360
all the way around.
degrees, yeah.
So this is going to be a great spot to spend a watch, which, again, I think that having this in a boat is a huge plus.
So we actually haven't done a little preview. Normally we kind of preview the boat beforehand, but we didn't do that this time. So port or starboard?
Let's do port.
Port. So we got our electric panel here. All right, it's kind of closed off. I'm gonna go aft first. All right, so we've got a good size kind of island berth. Basically, you can get up on the side, so I would say it qualifies. I don't think this is any like engine access, but it does have battery controls. Emergency hatch, that's a good placement so that should anything happen in the middle of the night while you're sleeping.
You can get out.
All right, this is inside this cabin. I think it's gonna be a head.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got a single wet head right here for this aft cabin. I'm looking forward. I think there's going to be another head on this side. And I was right. There's another head. And there's another me. And then forward again, it's going to be your forward port cabin. Nice big windows, ventilation.
Lots of storage areas up here. So there's shelving in here on top and bottom. Heading from port to starboard now. And we'll go aft again.
So it does seem like this is a 4-cabin, 4-head version. So I think that this side is going to be a mirror image.
Another island berth.
The other side, another big island berth.
Same emergency hatch too. Head. Wet head again.
Another wet head. So this is head number 3 after cabin number 3. And is that head number 4?
Yes, sir. And then cabin number 4. The floorboards are a bit creaky, in case you haven't picked up on that.
And then head number 4. And then cabin number 4.
Oh, it's a drawer. I was like, why is that pulling strangely?
So, not bad. You got 4 double berths, 4 heads. This is definitely an ex-charter boat. Alright guys, so as always at the end of these tours, I'm going to do a full continuous below decks walkthrough from bow to stern. So, starting with the starboard side forward berth, we are looking aft. We can either go out of this cabin or we can go into the head. So this is cabin 1, head 1. Going aft. Got head 2. Cabin 2. This one's bigger, nice big island berth. Very comfortable. Going forward, looking to port. Coming up steps, we've got a nice large main saloon. Randy's sitting at the forward facing nav station, but she's looking aft. I don't know what she's doing.
Rebelling.
Here's your main saloon. So galley back, galley aft. And then walk into port. Going down. Turning to forward. To port, we've got head 3. Got cabin 3. Turning aft. Again, we can access that head from inside the cabin here, which is nice. Going aft. We've got head number 4. And cabin number 4 with a large double berth. Looking forward. So these heads are only accessible through one way here. However, you can close this off for privacy. So each of these cabins has their own way of getting privacy, which is nice. So what did you think about this boat, Randy?
There were a lot of cool features to this boat. I really liked the forward cockpit area. It definitely reminded me of a jacuzzi for some reason. Like it should be filled with water.
Yeah.
But you definitely don't want that on your boat. An area filled with water sounds like a bad idea. I also really liked the galley on this boat. It had ample storage and it made it feel like it was part of both the cockpit and the saloon. So that was very nice.
I thought overall the exterior of this boat had a pretty good layout for cruising, and you know, it makes sense because a lot of people use this boat for cruising. It had very large bow lockers that were accessible from the deck, which I really like in cruising catamarans. It had that forward cockpit area, which is awesome. It had a really large front end, which is good for safety and buoyancy. And it had that, you know, that desirable flybridge, which a lot of people want. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of the flybridge, but I know that a lot of people are, and I can see why they would be, because you have really good visibility from up there.
Yeah, as a person who's slightly shorter than Jordan, I feel like my visibility up there was a lot better than it normally is in most catamarans.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to see all 4 corners of the boat from one area. The reason why I'm not the biggest fan of the flybridge is because it felt kind of unprotected. And also the fact that you're separated from the cockpit, so you're kind of isolated. So if you're entertaining guests or if you have other people aboard, you can't really see what's going on below you on the boat when you're at the helm. So that's
kind of the two downfalls, I think. There's also a performance downfall where the flybridge, because it's there, makes the boom have to be that much higher. So there's a few disadvantages, but there are, you know, I think there's one big major advantage, and that's visibility, obviously.
And since I brought up our height, and I feel like people ask us to say it all the time in the videos, I'm about almost 5'7", and Jordan is 5'11", 6 foot.
6 foot with shoes, almost 6 feet, so...
Just so you guys know as we're walking through.
Great headroom throughout.
Yeah. So obviously the interior of this boat was more of like a charter setup. It had 4 berths and 4 heads. I know most cruisers look for more of like the owner's setup. However, if you have like a large family or if you're interested in chartering your boat, this would be a good layout for you.
Definitely. And, you know, this boat does come in a owner's version. And, you know, the boat that we toured was not one, but the Lagoon 440 definitely does, and a lot of cruisers use that boat in the owner's version, and they love them. I really liked the main saloon setup. I liked the forward-facing nav station, and you had really good visibility with those classic Lagoon windows all the way around. You could see forward, you could see basically almost 360 degrees all around you from that nav station, so that would be a really great place to spend a watch, and that kind of makes up for the fact that the helm station is kind of exposed, because you know, you're going to be spending most of your watch at that nav station, not necessarily at the helm station, especially if the weather is, you know, cold or whatever, you know, wet. You'll probably be at the nav station instead.
I also wonder those windows, how they were done, if that helps with that kind of fishbowl effect that a lot of catamarans have, where the light's going like directly in, having them more vertical the way that they are, and they even had a little overhang above them. I think that would help a lot with keeping the heat down in there. Plus all the ventilation that it did have.
Yeah, I definitely think that would help with the heat, because you have less of that greenhouse effect.
Yeah.
The downside to that is going to be higher windage.
Oh yes.
So most catamarans have slanted windows because it's less windage, but this catamaran, you know, everything's a trade-off, right? Everything's a trade-off. So you're going to have less direct sunlight, which is good, but also more windage.
Yeah. No catamaran's perfect. Every boat's a compromise.
Yeah, exactly. So this boat would be a great setup for a charter. The owner's version would be a great setup for a cruising catamaran, and I think, you know, you can clearly see why. This was a very well laid out boat. This individual boat needed some work, but I mean, any 13-year-old boat does usually need some work, especially if it's an ex-charter boat. So there's that. So obviously it's not built for performance. It's not going to perform like a performance cruising catamaran, but I can see why the Lagoon 440 is one of the most popular cruising catamarans on the market.
As always, guys, if you're watching this video online, you can find the broker's information as well as the asking price in the video description below. And we hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to follow along with our journey. And if you want to know each and every time we upload a video, go ahead and hit that notification bell.
So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this one and it does well, then we will do more of these types of tours. And if not, then we won't. So see you guys.
Bye.
I've got it right and I got it